Hello and welcome to episode 4 out of 10 of Animediate. This one is Isekai wa smart... Oh fuck, I'm not going to butcher that language. In another world with my smartphone. And this is approaching the less terrible ones, but there's still big faults in this one. And I think you can all clearly see that in the synopsis here. In a thoughtless blunder, God accidentally strikes down main character with a stray bolt of lightning. As an apology, God offers him one wish and the chance to live again in a fantasy magical world. He accepts the offer and, for his one wish, asks to only keep his smartphone with him as he begins his journey. And then in the second paragraph of this description, it just lists all the cute girls that he meets. Like, literally, it's like an entire line of the 5 lines that is this paragraph. Linda... These are non-Japanese, like I don't feel bad butchering them. Linz, El Silhuesque, Yumina, Ernia, Belfast, Lean. That one. And yeah, that's not even all.
He has a romantic interaction with twins. That's
Ethan,
what we're in for.
It's Gareth Keenan.
You don't even know where this is going to go. And yeah, like...
Just watch it.
Like, what's it called? Asterix War. With being the school show, this is the other setting anime has of magical fantasy world with cute girls, everyone being high school with cute girls, and yeah, it has the same tropes, but yeah, sorry.
Well, another thing of it's just a regular guy from this world who ends up in a magical fantasy world.
Yeah. That's I think that's
Is this
what
the Jesus anime?
This is the Jesus anime. Thanks for bringing that up.
Tony, remind me how this system works again. 6.8. What is
That's
that?
out
Out
of
of 10?
No, it's not 5, Ethan.
My anime list is fucked.
Yeah, you 6
Hey,
out
anyway,
of...
in all fairness though, when we last talked about this, it wasn't that obvious as it was out of 10. I think it was out of 10, but there was like some really weird systems.
It's Ethan's rating system where he doesn't give below a 6.
I think it's just that my anime list always gives high values, so with like the 1 out of 10, it has a similar rating to this one.
Yeah, funny enough, this is actually really popular because if you look on like Kiss Anime, which is the illegal streaming site that we're not using, because it's like the 4th most popular anime. Just this no-name show that came out like 2017, I want to say. And yeah, it basically just takes your average another world man goes to another world plot, meets cute girls, is overpowered storyline, and turns the wish fulfillment up to 11, which I think you will see in the first episode of the Jesus anime.
Yes.
See you soon.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking
Should we have a podcast that discusses the best anime openings, Jono? Anyway.
Yeah, we better than this one. This shit.
And it wouldn't include this anime opening. I'd already forgotten.
I've forgotten the episode. We've just finished
it's not
it.
Offensive. But I mean, alright, the show. Yeah, it's just a hodgepodge collection of all the basic ideas of what a guy gets transported to other world show would be. So he can't read the language, he can speak it though, and yeah, God made him powerful or something. That's literally so much of this show is explained by God made him powerful.
He's literally a Deus Ex Machina that just is going to,
Yeah.
I assume, will be walking through this world. Because all he's used his Deus Ex Machina powers for at the moment is just like he told them how to make ice cream.
And he beat up some hobos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
And
happens.
it shows that he is in fact the main fucking guy who can use all the magic.
You've got to admit that the first scene is really good. It's just straight up about, like, you know that plot synopsis you read. Most shows, they take an episode to say no. It takes 30 seconds. It's like, right, you're the main guy. You're the main fucking guy here. You know, you can't die unless
something crazy.
It's
happens.
crazy, yeah.
What does that one wish, and he wishes for his smartphone.
But he just gives them all like the conventional wishes as well. Like, oh yeah, you just have all the magical powers, you know, and
they just boosted all your stats. You got like 20s,
and you can't die.
Yeah. Plus,
That's
you
just
can
the
like
basic
call
package,
me.
though. He can call God. It's registered in my phone as God. Which way should I go?
I love how when God had to talk to Moses, he used the mobile phone.
He used his tablet.
I'd say this is more of a New Testament kind of god, you know.
Yeah, he's a very chillaxed god. No, we'll give that to him. He owns
Old
his
Testament has no
mistakes.
chill, you know. It's the New Testament.
This is when they brought Aaron Sorkin on to do most of the writing.
Oh, man. So he makes ice cream. He like gets all his basic essentials pretty much sorted because someone buys his clothes and he just gets a house at an inn.
I'm loving the little interludes between
The little
between every scene.
I actually do quite like, because that's a little comedic summary of what's just happened.
But why do we need it?
He breaks it up.
Well, you just said a moment ago that you just watched the episode and you couldn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
You need to get reminded what's just happened afterwards.
Maybe at the end of the episode they should just show all of that. So like, okay, like
What if the entire show was a collection of these frames sequentially so that you could see the movement through them? Oh, that's what you got. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're used particularly well in this, but I think in something, having those sort of freeze frames would really work well.
Just every scene, I get it for key, like some scene, every single. Imagine watching a film and every time the fucking like there was a new scene, you just got like a 5-second summary of what you just watched.
It's not overestimating anyone's
list.
mental capacity. Yes, it's
Be
not.
careful.
It's not as good as Full Metal Alchemist Brothers.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. It's great having them back to back. And yeah, that's pretty much. Does anyone else have any things?
Can we stop now and watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
I mean, that's on Netflix.
Because you sold that to me on a podcast which doesn't exist anymore. So
It's lost like tears in the rain. All right, let's get this over with.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
We'll go anti-clockwise like we normally do, right?
that was episode 2 of In Another World with my smartphone.
Well, so we kind of got distracted talking about other things whilst watching it.
I was paying full attention.
Yeah, I don't think
laser beam focus.
so. They like they were in. Was this the one where they were in a car and then came across lizard people?
They started with sending a message. But I can't help you too much.
That just tells you something. We've watched 2 episodes and he already doesn't know which fucking one it was.
Yeah.
There was a car in
He had a
it.
50-50 shot
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, then some lizard people, like they noticed the guy was conjuring them up, and so they used make stuff frictionless twice to like solve the problem. I say they, I mean just the main guy.
Main guy flight novel.
Then they met like a princess who then took them to their duke father, who was then like, oh, I've got this person who's blind, and you
When
know,
they
it's
saved that person.
heartbreak.
Happened twice, Jono.
Uh,
It's one's called Jesus anime.
Just that sound tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that
sorry.
that they have the character Yay. I'm gonna butcher the name.
Isn't he called Tuya or something?
No, that's the main guy. The
Utah.
girl that's introduced in this one. 'Cause
The
there's,
one
like,
from
a
like
fight.
Ishin.
She's from Ishin, which is the Japan substitute in this fictional world. If you're gonna make a fictional world, why are you gonna have Japan just renamed in it? Like, what are you doing?
It's
you know?
literally like he goes, oh, that fight style, it's
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Did this tell you that?
Yeah.
Is it an important plot point? I've not seen
comes
it.
up later.
I don't know.
I hate how like I know this is like input like all the bad ones. It's probably a few good ones. But, like the post credits and like the fucking intro, it shows you characters who appear like in like the last episode. What?
Are you kidding me? Lean.
Do you remember when we just saw like Lucius Malfoy in Eramaga Sensei and we were waiting for the payoff?
It wasn't worth it, but that's waiting for payoff in Eramaga Sensei is never going to be worth it.
I was paid off and it finished, Tony.
Paid off with that Mediate bankroll to keep silent about the traumatic events you're
Yeah.
subjected to. Yeah.
The thing is, for
They
me,
got loads of money in this episode, by the way. Ethan.
thanks. It's just, I find it really boring and uninteresting because, I mean, essentially, I know they are different, but they all feel the same as the previous shows that we watched. This is just the 3rd season for me. I mean, Hanoka's standalone because that was so different to everything that we watched, even though it was all so bad.
Yeah,
But you've got Eramaga Sensei season 1, season 2 is Asterisk Squad, and this is season 3 because they're just all
they
the same
definitely
show.
all have the same main character. I'll give you that.
To be fair, I think
This has got a little bit of a different spin on it.
Harry's just wearing.
You're
he's
just
got
saying
full
that.
anime reviewer. He's wearing sunglasses indoors.
You're just
Of
saying
course,
that
my favourite Luke
because
Cage character, Tony.
because it's set in a different world and it's not in a high school. But apart from that, I mean, they are pretty much just the same.
He's in another world, man.
there seems to.
It's just really
It
uninteresting.
fulfills. Alright, like, okay. Sometimes you know what you're going in for. When I sat down to watch this, I thought, I want to see someone in another world with a smartphone. And that's what I'm seeing, you know? It's not been missold, you know?
There's also a guy in another world.
I want to see a plectrum trick in this. Like, I can't
Next
Google
haven't
the
been
title of
added.
this.
I'm sure the MCU's good, but it's not as crazy as the Deer Hunter.
Right.
I
I feel like we should probably break, and then when we come back to episode 3, we'll hopefully have a bit more energy.
I think all these shows are less similar than all of the Marvel films, so I'll give it that.
No, that was that.
Wow.
Way worse.
That's
Do you know what's better than this? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Well, there's another episode done.
Oh yeah. Oh god. I mean, should we talk about how we watch this in different circumstances, or?
Yeah, but I think we have
house
to.
this time.
Yeah, we're in a different house. We're watching it the dub now, which is vastly improving the quality of the show.
I don't think that's the only contributing factor.
Tony, that is the only contributing factor.
I mean, we found a dodgy website that has been made clean by installing AdBlock, and it has a handy speed modifier. So it's like a bit of FIFA 10. You know, we've built up our momentum, and we're watching this at 1.5 times speed. I have to say, it makes it quite better.
Yeah,
Like it's I don't know.
it's still pretty bad. But
Some
it's
of the
not bad.
characters that speak fast are now unintelligible, but that's easily outweighed by the fact that like the pauses are so much shorter and the dialogue is much less insufferable.
It's just it turns it more into a comedy where it's just
Yeah, and
you hear a joke and then you get what now has become a joke because it's at 1.5
Yeah.
speed. The cuts are so much snappier.
It means we
It's-
can get to Animediate 5 quicker as well.
it's
You know,
it's almost
I think
as
that's
if
the main benefit.
things being faster and more energetic is pretty much always better. Always. Every time.
Was there a
yes.
possibility of watching the other previous shows?
I mean, unless you have a time machine, which we as the Mediate definitely don't have.
it's totally not the conceit.
I definitely set up that joke.
Right? Can I? Should I summarise this episode?
Paying
Yeah.
close attention.
So it starts with these people playing this game. Can't remember what it's called.
It's called shogi. It's
Yeah, so they're playing this game,
Japanese chess.
and then our when last we left our heroes, and those guys they go to do a quest, and then he just after someone gets injured, he just magically heals them.
Yeah, he's the party healer and also every other class in the
Yeah.
game.
He just shouts out, "Find something!" And he finds an ancient relic, which he takes a picture of, and everyone's like, "Wow, how are you doing that?" It's just a mobile phone, and it wakes up like a weird spider demon, which he fights using a tactic from the board game at the start of the episode.
Yeah, he captures the king, Harry.
Okay, so
And-
that was paid off.
That is
That's
the
called really good storytelling.
yeah, that is the only good fight in this show, apart from maybe a few others. But this is the best one.
And the music was really good because
That's for this show.
we had it
This shit.
fast, so it was like it's pretty good.
You know, right? You said you really like the IT crowd because it sets up a joke right at the beginning and then it pays off towards the end. Well, this sets up the fatal flaw of the villain at the beginning of the episode, and he's just like, "Oh yes, I can use that."
I know it's
Oh,
genius. And
It is very good.
I love the fact that at the end he goes to the king, and the king's like, "Oh, that's brilliant." And then he goes back, and then like 30 seconds later, he revisits the king, and then the king breaks the news that his brother's been poisoned. Which I remember a few Animediates ago when like there was that competition, and we were like, "Oh," and Aaron Sensei. We were like, "Oh, this is really interesting," and they wrapped it up on the next episode. I'm pretty sure first 10 minutes of the next episode, the king's brother is getting cured.
Yeah, he
Predictions
already
right
has been established to be able to cure the blind as like a prodigal son of God almost. I wonder what sort of parallels you can draw with this.
Should we see if my prediction comes true by
what-
watching?
What are the
episode
odds? 2,501.
Ah.
You didn't tell me it was
Yeah, we good?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So, in this episode, yeah, Harry called it pretty well in the earlier part. Basically, the main character cures the king's brother very early on without any trouble.
It's like first minute.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
minute
To be
stuff.
fair, they do say they have like acknowledged the fact that he's overpowered. It's like, you know, that overpowered thing you did. Let's do it again this time.
Doesn't make it okay.
Makes
It-
it
I mean,
At
it-
least
it-
it's consistent.
But it would be nice to see him do something new with his powers rather than
Yeah.
just curing people all day long and
Yeah.
getting injured. It's getting a
I
bit
mean,
tiresome.
Yeah, we're 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll spice it up a bit.
So after that, he uses this actually pretty good detective skills to figure out who the culprit was who poisoned the brother in the first place.
I love it. It's just he
And
walks into a
it's
room,
the guy
says
who
a
was
word.
obviously the villain at the beginning of the first meeting.
Yeah, the King of Belfast was saved.
Yeah, that is true.
Turned out it was Lord Ballsack or whatever.
And after he's figured out who the culprit is, basically everyone really likes him and he thinks he's a really cool dude.
Yeah,
He gets engaged.
So that,
He gets
Yeah.
no,
engaged.
not quite
Hey,
engaged.
I'm the one giving the
Yeah,
synopsis.
come on, let him let him do
And
stuff.
well, yeah, exactly. The
It-
king's
yeah.
daughter is pretty much head over heels for him and falls in love with him, and now they're engaged. But he's allowed
It's
to.
okay because she's got the mystic eyes of David Bowie, so can see true intent and sees the,
Heterochromia.
But the king was said like, all right, well, since you're only 16 and you like to wait until you're 18, hang about with her for 2 years, and if you still feel the same way, then just say no. But if you get to know her and you like her, then get married
it'll
to
be
her.
fine because you'll be 18 and she'll be fucking 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's 12 now.
No,
she's
yeah,
14 now,
14.
but that still doesn't make it any better, really. So. Yeah.
And then the king's just like, yeah, I got married when I was 14. Wish we'd done it sooner.
And then
No, the best thing is the character is introduced. Like one of the first lines is like, "Do you dislike younger women or something?"
Yeah.
Just like younger girls, yeah. And so she basically
What?
spends the rest of the next episode kind of being a nice new addition to the squad.
Does she?
And,
I mean,
We watch different things.
she has bow magic.
Oh,
she's a pretty good archer, actually.
Yeah, she did in good archery or whatever they said.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Oh,
No, I'll fix it.
What about the big wolf?
yeah, the big
Oh
wolf.
yeah, the
Little
big
wolf.
wolf who becomes another addition to the squad. Also,
They came back. Fucking little wolf.
yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of the episode basically, and it was alright actually.
Yeah, you said it was.
I mean,
like,
it was still awful, but it was better than the other 2 or 3.
Do you know what's better than this? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Deacons.
Cool, Johnny. Are we gonna get going?
Yeah, we've just got it going. Right, so the slimes, I don't want to say paid off, but they
were
appeared.
foreshadows. The suspense was built over multiple episodes. I didn't even realise that it was that much. Because they were like the climax of the season, pretty much. Downhill from here.
They went to a castle with a lot of slimes and exactly what you think would happen.
What was that, Johnny? Tell our audience so they know.
So they can visually depict it.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh god,
That's calm.
he's too disgusted to even
We're all
describe what
traumatised
happened.
because I think Toya has gotten away with quite a bit.
Fucking bad.
I think
Oh, and he's been knighted.
he's been knighted,
He's-
yeah, because he saved like 4 people.
He's a massive perv.
Yeah,
It's just
he uses his powers for evil.
even the moment where it's like he realizes he can spy through walls. He literally goes, "Oh no," or something, but closes his eyes, but keeps his camera up there looking. It's just, oh god.
He's
I think
conflicted.
the best bit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
That's
it is.
true. I think this shows a moral dilemma.
It's like
on both
Kylo Ren.
sides.
You can see the conflict with
Do I
it.
keep the camera there and put it on this woman, or do I look away? What an ethical dilemma this
The
is.
the
Do I
best
just get on the train or not?
the best bit was the castle burning down with just all the
Oh my
all the
God,
women
yeah.
there going, "It is pure."
And it's only failed to see the how that could
Harry
be.
was projecting
as
some
racism.
idea of racism.
I mean, literally, this killing an entire
Harry
species.
thinks slimes are sentient. They're blobs.
Yeah, but killing an entire species and then going, It is pure.
They were evil,
That's-
Harry.
okay.
You haven't brought this up for any other thing that they've murdered in the show.
That still has negative. Just the word "pure" when committing an act of mass genocide
No, but
has quite negative connotations,
Look,
especially when you're burning them in a castle.
Harry, I think you've got some internalized racism that you're projecting into this podcast, and I think if anyone were to do that, that would be really fucking wrong.
All I'm saying is, burn the Welsh.
Burn the Welsh.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Orange. It's a freaking orange.
What episode is this?
6.
Jono, we need the sped up music in the
I
background.
love how you know
Ethan.
because you've gone online to see how many we have left because you just can't wait for it.
Oh
to finish.
man, I can't wait for some of those later episodes.
Harry's going to give it a 5 out of 10.
No, Tony.
This episode
I'm
was...
going to give it a 1 out of 10.
The thing is, I know you disagree with me, but I still don't see how this is any better or worse than Aramanga Sensei or Asterisk.
I feel like
It's
it's
all the same.
I feel like it's
quality
slightly
to me.
better. Like
Yeah.
only slightly. I'm talking
Slightly.
like 1.
I don't
Or
know.
Yeah, but
maybe
you gave
2.
Aramanga Sensei like a 3 out of 10.
No, I didn't. I give it a 1 out of 10.
You gave it a 3 out of 10.
Oh no, I think I'm not going to give it the highest.
You gave it a 10 out of 10 though, Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Alright. This episode was the one where right after he was about to be knighted, but he declined it, and so he got like a castle instead. It's a freaking palace.
It's a freaking palace, Tony.
Which,
Oh yeah.
for some reason, we misclicked, or Ethan joked.
No, I
us.
didn't misclick.
He-
I picked it because I wanted to see
he
what it would
joked,
be like.
and we saw that on 0.5 times speed, and it was very funny. And then the rest of the episode happened because he has to go be like a peace envoy or something, so he can go somewhere, unlock the fast travel location at Whiterun, so he can go help the peace communications between Belfast and Mistmead. And yeah, he just goes along. He like wingmans for like.
What about Dragon?
Yeah, he goes along. I'm getting there. He goes along. He wingmans with the help to help like some random side characters. And then there's a dragon that shows up that he beats, and also the bandits that assail him on the way. It's great how he just uses his phone and selects all of them like it's a clicker game. Just casts a spell on all of them. It's incredible.
What is that from? More bandits.
Oh, that's from Age of Mythology. Will
Oh,
be.
is that something that you've actually picked?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they beat the dragon. That also happened.
And then just talks to a dragon.
Yeah, the dragon. It's like a big dragon, right? It's a big black one that comes down and like sets fire to everyone. And Harry was getting worried, but then they beat it, and a bigger red dragon is like, my bad. I can see that the guy here, he's like the main fucking guy because he's got the white monarch, which is the cat thing, as his pet. So he's clearly a beast, and I'm just gonna leave him alone. And he leaves him alone. That's it. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Does anyone else have any thoughts? Are we getting back into it?
No. What's it called in another word with my smartphone? Yeah.
I feel
You
like
guys are both looking up plot spoilers to this enriching
but
narrative.
It's on a
guys.
smartphone, though. You know, it's.
Yeah.
Select multiple.
I feel like if he didn't have his smartphone, he'd probably.
I mean, he'd still have. his
Tony got
God
mad
mode
for a minute
powers.
when they were going to Belfast because he thought it was the capital of Wales. Then he realised that it actually isn't.
What is the capital of Wales like Cardiff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right.
No, you're
Now
right.
we're just talking shit. Let's
Yeah.
stop.
Wait,
Capital
wait.
cities is quite interesting. Let's keep going on about that.
No, no.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Fourth episode, so I'll do 8.
Okay. So in that episode, basically what happened is there was a lighthouse, and he retrieved a bit of the sword from the dragon at the very start, and then there was the opening title sequence, and then he fought the King of Belfast, and he used his OP magic. And the King of Belfast was like, "You can't use your OP magic." So then he still won very easily using OP magic that wasn't that one spell he wasn't allowed to use, and then because of that. Before that, they went to a party, and he got lured in by the teddy bear from the earlier episodes, and he found a woman who was 612 specifically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was 600
Actually-
years older than being 12, which she looks, and she taught him that you can use Scratch to program objects in the world, and that's how she was controlling the teddy bear. And then he realised, I can use that to this piece of metal. I can make a gun. by programming it. So he makes a gun which can extend to become a sword, and that was pretty cool. That's the best thing about the show
And
so far.
it can just reload by him
Oh
saying
yeah,
reload.
you can reload automatically. And then they go for a curry at Chutney Jack's and get the king prawn korma, which is too spicy for them. But before then, he finds the secret bodyguards, and that's the episode.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking owl!
Okay, so the episode starts off with a character being pissed off that their brother didn't attend their dad's funeral, so he goes to Mars, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to level with you. I don't know much of what happened. The only thing that actually made sense to me was the fact that the main character rescues this little orphan girl who's overtly Irish. It's unbelievable. And
We need to tone down on this podcast. I feel like tensions have been too high.
And he saves her from a couple of ruffians. I can't remember why they actually had her in a corner in the first place. Who fucking knows? And then she just joins the squad. And by the episode, the team just gets larger and larger. And there's just more girls who are basically the same character, who all have the same motivation. And they're all just completely obsessed with the main character. And it's just really, really, really tedious now. And I just want the show to end.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking owl!
It's a long hair.
That is probably mine. Anyway,
Hello and welcome back to Animediate. Taking a short break to show you the spin-off to the show we're watching, In Another World with My Inglorious Bastards. EXT, Dairy Farm, Day. The modest dairy farm in the countryside of Nancy, Belfast. What the Belfastian called cow country. We read a subtitle in the sky above the farmhouse. Chapter 1. Once upon a time in that Nazi-occupied Belfast. This subtitle disappears and is replaced by another one. 1941, 1 year into the Miss Median occupation of Belfast. The farm consists of a house, small barn, and 12 cows spread about.
Monsieur Lapedite, I regret to inform you I've exhausted the extent of my Belfastian. To continue to speak it so inadequately would only serve to embarrass me. However, I've been led to believe you speak English quite well.
We.
Well, it just so happens I do as well. This being your house, I ask your permission to switch to English for the remainder of the conversation.
by all means.
Such quite good Christoph Waltz.
They now speak English.
Monsieur Lapedite, while I'm very familiar with you and your family, I have no way of knowing if you are familiar with who I am. Are you aware of my existence?
The farmer answers.
Yes.
This is good. Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out in Belfast?
Yes.
The colonel drinks more milk.
Please, tell me what you have heard.
I've heard the Duke has put you in charge of rounding up the slimes left in Belfast, who are either hiding or passing for genteel.
The SS colonel smiles.
The Duke could have said it better himself.
But the meaning of your visit, pleasant though it is mysterious to me. The Miss Medians looked through my house 9 months ago for hiding slimes and found nothing.
No, where this is going.
Now, before the occupation, there were 4 slimish families in this area, all dairy farmers like yourself. The Lovitz, the Dollaraks, the Rollins, and the Dreyfuses. Is that correct?
What have you heard about the Dreyfus's monster? Wait, what's...
To say that.
Oh, right. Only rumours.
I love rumours. Facts can be so misleading, where rumours, true or false, are often revealing. So, Monsieur Lapedite, what rumours have you heard regarding the Dreyfuses?
The farmer looks at Lander.
Speak freely, Monsieur Lapedite. I want to hear what the rumours are, not who told them to you. The farmer puffs through on his pipe. I probably shouldn't have said that.
It's great format, I think.
Oh,
Control C, Control V.
again, this is just a rumour, but we heard the Dreyfuses had made their way into Sword Art Online.
So the rumours you've heard have been of escape?
Yes.
The camera lowers behind his chair to the floor, past the floor, to a small area underneath the floorboards, revealing 5 slime beings.
Well, I guess that should do it. B begins gathering up his
He
papers.
begins gathering up his papers and putting them back into his case.
The farmer, cool as a cucumber, puffs on his pipe.
However, before I go, could I have another glass of your delicious milk? But you are aware of what they call me.
I'm aware.
What are you aware of?
They call you the Slime Hunter.
Precisely. Now I understand your trepidation in repeating it. Before he was assassinated, Heydrich apparently hated the moniker the good people of Prague bestowed on him. Actually, why would he hate the name? The Hangman is baffling to me. It would appear he did everything in his power to earn it. But I, on the other hand, love my unofficial title, precisely because I've earned it. As the Slime Hunter enjoys his fresh milk, he continues to... That's also not dialogue.
Sorry. As the Slime Hunter enjoys his fresh milk, he continues to theorise with the Belfastian farmer.
If one were to determine what attributes the slime's share with the beast, it would be that of a rat. Now the Duke and Goebbels' propaganda have said pretty much the same thing. Where our conclusions differ is I don't consider the comparison an insult. Consider for a moment the word a rat lives in. It's a hostile word indeed. If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility?
I suppose I would, before saying, sniff, sniff, we've got a rat 45 times.
Now, my job dictates that I must have my men enter your home and conduct a thorough search before I can officially cross your family's name off my list. And if there are any irregularities to be found, rest assured they will be. That is, unless you have something to tell me that will make this conducting of a search unnecessary. I might also add that any information that makes the performing of my duty easier will not be met with punishment. Actually, quite the contrary, it will be met with reward. And that reward will be your family will cease to be harassed in any way by the mess-made military during the rest of our occupation of our country.
The farmer, pipe in mouth, stares across the table at his Mismedian opponent.
You are sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes. That's enough racism out of you.
Action music starts playing at 1.5 times speed. Toya pulls out his smartphone. He whips out a gun and shoots all the other Nazis in the room.
Shame the bullets were only rubber.
You what? What are you drawing all of this power from?
Colonel Lander pulls out a gun, aiming it at Toya.
Not so fast.
Toya casts anti-gun null magic, and Colonel Lander's gun disappears.
What an incredibly specific spell.
And now,
He presses a button on his smartphone.
search Nazi radius. 10,000 kilometers. Select all. Cast. Kill.
The sky turns dark and every single Nazi is obliterated, exacting out God's righteous vengeance upon the unworthy. All the slimes and the farmer's daughters, who are all incredibly cute girls, decide to follow around Toya, even though he's clearly exceeded his party limit. Suddenly, there's a phone call from God, which Toya answers.
Great work sorting out that war, Toya, but I'm afraid you still have a 4 out of 10 anime to finish.
Credits roll.
I think this might just be my masterpiece.
Now, it is pure.
Thank
So
you
good.
for joining us.
It was worth watching that half of that terrible anime just for this.
Alright, so we're ready to get back into it then.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yes.
Alright.
You've clearly rewatched Inglourious Bastards recently.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Hello, welcome back. That was episode 9.
Nine.
Still got 3 more to
Um,
go after this.
Yeah, so the main fucking guy and his crew, they arrived in Japan, and I appreciate the honesty that the show had, or maybe it's just been voice actors, of them saying that, man, this place really does just God just copy and pasted Japan here, which I think is just the piss take of the writers being like, yeah, this is do Japan again for this other continent, which they go to, and they like have to help fucking Yai's parents or whatever. They're at a fort, and so he just goes there. Is like, yeah, I'm gonna just get into the fort that's under siege. He just casts a spell, and he just kills an entire army in like 30 seconds. It's incredible. It's
He
amazing.
heals a whole army.
Yeah,
and then kills a whole
he
army.
heals the sick. He fucking obliterates the unworthy. I hope I've brought up the point that there is strong parallels to Jesus in this show, which brings me to the next thing that happens, which is they go invisible, and like the two invisible characters are one of them like what's the word, like sets up the other because they start attacking someone. They start in a weird way, and and yeah, he's like, oh no, that's not me. But then they sneak into the main bad guy's fort and they just like kill him pretty instantly by like stealing his eye of power. And yeah, they also shoot like an obelisk or whatever, and they move on to the beach episode, which is next. Does anyone else remember anything that happened?
I'm not sure if this is because it's the first one that we've started in a while, but this has probably been the most engaging episode yet. Because of the fact that they kind of introduce an arc at the beginning, and they just follow it through to conclusion by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
They've got to save the town, they've got to save it some more by rescuing some of
that
their men back.
climactic final battle was just, it was so tense.
Yeah, I mean, it
Heroes were all,
is.
they were in danger, man. It was just-
I mean engaging relative to every other episode of the show that we've watched.
Yeah.
I don't mean
I
engaging.
actually enjoyed some of the, I enjoyed some of the fight scenes before he got the gun.
Yeah. Most overpowered spell in the game. Yeah, I think it, I don't know, part of just like how ridiculous it was, where he just like, yeah, he's been overpowered so far, but it's literally like not even an army could do anything. He could just select all people and kill them instantly.
I should call this In Another World with My Gun.
My gun.
That's what they should have done different. Instead of a smartphone, they should have had a gun. And like, it's like a Yondu thing. When you whistle, the bullet just finds its way to different bits.
Yeah, but if it was just the bullet that could do that, why would you need the gun, Ethan?
Oh, that's very true.
That's what the bullet sweeps.
It's where the bastards.
Alright, well, me and Ethan
The
leave the
bullet
podcast
stream.
to make our own anime series.
Yes! That's what I've been waiting for.
It's called In Another World with My Bullet. Open bracket gun, close bracket.
Ugh.
Jono, what did you think of this episode?
They thought it was terrible like the rest of them. Go on, actually.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
I think that teddy bear at the end of each episode I hate more than the library part of Coruscant. That's saying something.
Such a weird way to start, but we'll go with it. Right, so episode 10 of In Another World with My Smartphone was the mandatory beach episode, so that the animators could justify the half-naked models of all the female characters that they
Harry.
already have created.
Animation doesn't work in that way, okay?
They've already made the assets for their own personal use, and they're like, you know what, we might as well just put them in the show, because otherwise someone's going to stumble across these and go,
You
why?
don't draw a clothed character with the naked body first and then clothes over it. Okay?
Yeah, what I'm
So
saying,
that's
what
it.
I'm saying is
That's
that,
it. That's
yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they created these like models for themselves. They drew them,
yeah.
and then they needed to justify putting them in the show, because otherwise they'd be like, why do you just have a picture of a 14-year-old girl in a swimsuit? They'd be like, oh, you know, it's for an episode of the show. Basically, no plot happened, and
Actually, they summoned that snake and turtle thing.
I think
They worked out how to breathe underwater
Yeah.
to approach
a
ruins.
I mean,
They
Roger,
don't do anything like
Roger-
that. They actually go inside them.
Yeah, that's what the ending was.
Roger Deakins was
Oh.
doing the cinematography in this
Yeah.
episode. There was a great bit where it was a reverse shot of just breasts. I mean, that in fairness, that was...
It was really weird because you get like a sort of I think it's like pareidoia, like you see faces in it and you're just like, no, this isn't how you're meant to be. I do
Yeah.
like the bit where the main character got outed for being a pedo though. I think that was a bit of justice.
Yeah, and by the main character, it's actually the audience who are watching this get outed for being a pedo. Yeah, it's not good. This is definitely the worst episode. But I have to keep reminding myself, every episode of Eromanga Sensei was like this. So just putting up with it for one episode and like 30 seconds and another one isn't as bad as Eromanga Sensei.
I'm glad there's been
That being said, Tony did watch this in his free time.
Yeah, sunk cost.
To its conclusion.
1 out of 10.
He passed. He saw the cliffhanger of like. He went, why isn't she wearing any underwear?
I just had to know. And to be
Tony,
fair, it does pay off. I'm setting that up.
Tony, before
Yeah, I don't know.
before this, began, I'd never seen a beach episode. I was innocent, Tony.
What? No. You've seen like tons of anime. There's got to be at least one beach episode you've seen.
Maybe show us what's good at it.
First,
No, Eromanga Sensei had like a third of its season was beach episode.
I think he's talking about before.
Yeah, before
you
Animediate.
exposed
Before
him to all of
Animediate.
this.
Alright, well, I mean,
Yeah.
this is.
Eromanga Sensei was the first
Oh, man.
Beach episode.
God.
God. Well, there are more to come.
Beach episode,
definitely.
more like wank episode. Because the guys who made the show wanted to have a wank. There you go.
I mean, oh yeah, beach episodes are just the animators get to take a break basically. So they just put naked bodies, have like a pan up, and then be like, yes, I'm gonna go only work 50 hours this week instead of 60. You know?
They call up the Deke, you know. It's like, alright. Yeah, it's like, alright. I'll do this one, lads. Don't you worry.
Every show just gets one free card.
Tony, do you know when this came out? You probably just finished the Sorry, you know. It was like, alright, you know, I'll come in, I'll do it.
No, I think this is just like them as a team didn't make this. They just left, came back one day, and the creepy one in their office had just done this. I was, guys, I've done an episode. You won't
Yeah,
have.
but the main character is like that creepy guy.
A lot
And
of
the cast of characters,
is
like-
that creepy guy.
Can we meet a character who doesn't just join the party? This is getting ridiculous now.
No,
It's like-
it's a massive party game. Okay, it's like Pokemon. He's got to get them all.
I really hope I think that's what we'll end it.
Your
Yeah.
mouth, STDs.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Stop laughing at that breakfast scene.
Right, so they all decided that they loved him, and then two of them kissed him, and I think that's actually it for the episode. So see you at the end of the next one.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
Did they ever tell him about it, or was it just, you know?
No, there were always like weird complications and like
You know,
distraction by fireworks or whatever. They're always nonsense, and this is like, yeah, there's get it out of the way.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, word for word.
Yeah, we're in sync.
So does that make it better than Eromanga?
Yes!
I'm not quite sure, Jonathan. You'll have to get back to me on that.
Oh, before we stop, wait. I just want to say that in a few episodes ago, there was references to a conversation they'd had. And it was really vague about what they were talking about. I mean, all the characters were very embarrassed by it. And in this episode, we finally got to see that conversation. And an unexpected twist, they all confessed that they were going to marry him because they love him so much. I mean, personally, I didn't see that coming. I'm going to actually, when I get home, I'm going to re-watch all those episodes because I've just seen it in a new light. You know, it's like the Prestige. You know, I wasn't watching closely and I got duped. But yeah, we're coming towards the end now. Like fuck.
Ugh.
You didn't tell me it was a freaking palace!
That's what I was waiting for.
Gay the whole time.
Yeah.
For the final episode.
Yeah, so it is a final episode. I'm so glad to be done with this entire show. Unless you rope us back in for the second season, if there is one. I'm sure you know if there's one or not. And I'm sure we'll find out at some
It's
point.
actually a film that you're going to pick for Live TV.
So
Game.
it starts off with so all of the, so most of the cast are pretty angry with the main guy because one of the other girls kissed him and they're all mad at him because of that, because now they think that he's in love with her. But it turns out that actually he just wants to marry them all in a couple of years when they're 14 or something like that. I think that's what he's going for. So it starts off with so he kisses the person who he's actually who's his fiance basically, and after that he kind of gets into a conflict with two other characters who are they're all fighting for control of him, right? He's like it's like capture the flag or something like that. I don't know. Oh, except there's no respawns, thank God. And yeah, that's kind of the episode, and I don't really remember what happens after
Do
that.
you
I don't think I
remember
was
the
paying
bit where
attention.
he goes to God?
He goes back to Babylon, doesn't
He
he?
goes to God,
Before
Ethan.
that. Yeah, but before he goes to he goes back to
Babylon,
Babylon, meets Dr. Babylon in some sort of hologram. I'm gonna level with you. I just wasn't paying attention to what that position was all
It
about.
says like
She was scandally dressed, though. That's the one thing I do remember.
that's always true.
Yeah.
It says, by the way, the prequel to this show was a mech show. It says that at one point. You missed it.
Mhm. And yeah, so then he goes back to God.
He's the goddess of love.
Yeah.
And I think that is an incredible Deus Ex Machina by having him solve his problems by talking to the literal God of love.
We find out that she basically orchestrated all of those dodgy moments throughout the show, don't
I mean,
we?
she was probably
That was
behind
you,
the
Ryan.
slides.
She was
Sneaky
Roger
vixen.
Deakins.
Man.
I can't believe Deakins died when they killed the slimes, you know.
Also, the greatest moment in the entire show is, and I'm pretty sure, this isn't even open to interpretation, they were definitely pushing us in this direction. He is gay. I'm 100% sure of it.
The
The way,
scene.
just the acting, the things he said, it was his minor obsession with that silver coin that the character
It's totally
had.
not like the guys coming from his world. And it looked like a
Another
50p
world.
coin. It looks like he's come from the UK.
That's why he spent the entire show really kind of inept talking to all the rest of the girls, because he didn't know how to handle it. He didn't know how to confess his sexual orientation.
Ethan.
But when he had the
Ethan.
fight with Tony the Tiger, that's what was true.
I don't think he ever met a guy his own age. He met like older princes.
Yeah,
and a really old.
That's his taste.
And a really old.
Bisexualism
butler.
is possible, Ethan.
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually very true. Yeah.
The best thing though is the incredible sequel bait ending, which is like, he's got 4 wives now, but according to the Doctor, he has 9 wives in the future. Just ends on that.
I'll tell you what, if that bear had burned with the rest of the slimes, then I think I would have given this show a really high score, because that's what I wanted.
Oh, can we give scores and can we move on from this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we want to reminisce over our
The
favourite moments in
episode,
the show?
the best,
Do we
the
have
episode
to?
has the
The
one
best bit was when they
fight.
killed the slimes and then they were like, the world is more pure now. And then Tony was like, oh, there's nothing wrong, they're just evil. not seeing purity after an act of mass genocide being a little bit...
I mean,
This
the
has
point-
literally never been a problem in any fucking JRPG ever. I don't know why this has come up ever now.
It was just
it's-
the choice of language after they burned down an old castle full of slimes.
I'm with the girls there because it was a really pervy castle. That's like, you burn Weinstein's filmography and then go, finally, it is pure. That's what you do.
Yeah, but you've been burning some good films.
But it would be pure, Harry.
We all know Ethan idolizes the Weinmeister.
I'm just saying, talking about purity and then like having a beach episode,
That was like 4 episodes later.
I mean, the slot. I think.
Look, the slimes aren't even a big part of the show. They're only one of the few subplots. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's the most offensive to my people, Tony.
I can't remember. I can't even remember what happened in the first 2 or 3 episodes. I just don't remember
He
how the
shows
show
up.
started.
Yeah, he
Like,
just shows
the
up and
main
meets
guy.
all these girls. He has a small friend. They make ice cream.
Yeah.
He fucking like meets the Duke. He heals that guy. I remember.
Yeah, he heals 2 people.
They have fights and they're actually like all right. And then he gets
He
a gun.
goes on shopping trips where he kind of like, you could see possibly they might become friends, but it's still like weird that they're ever.
Remember that first episode where that guy just like brought his clothes? They were setting up the game.
wives.
He was setting up the game thing the whole time.
Yeah.
And that bit where he thought the urchin was a boy, and then took on that. Oh no, you're a girl. I'm out. I'm out.
Exactly.
That part where it became Peaky Blinders for about 2 minutes in the alleyway with that little Irish orphan. So glad he came up and saved the day.
I think this episode has the one fight that he loses, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. I think
That's not because he wanted to lose it, because he wanted to fucking have more wives, which is his ultimate aim.
It was just reality catching up with him,
Yeah.
He thought he was invincible throughout the entire show. Turns
Yeah.
out he can
Yeah,
be
but
beaten.
like, the fight was like, oh yeah, but you can't use any of your abilities.
well, it was balanced a bit. They were like, we won't use boost, and you won't use
Yeah,
your,
but even
your
if they
slip.
did use boost and he had slip, Tony, you genuinely think they wouldn't have...
I don't know, slip is overpowered.
God, he's going to be such a domestic abuser with slip.
Look, no, that's what it's all about. He wanted to make sure that he could appropriately take care of 4 whole women at once.
I mean, it'll be okay as long as he just.
I mean, he's
you
got
know,
25 fucking servants, so... I think he'll be alright.
Do you know that guy in Narcos, right?
Means emotionally.
The head of one of the cartels, he had like 4 or 5 wives, but he had a rota, and then
Oh, yeah.
each of them would spend a different day with him.
This-
That's what he could do.
but-
There.
The difference is in Marcus, he wasn't the main character. And they weren't like, look at this absolute hero. They were like,
this 3rd coming of Christ. God. I think
Jesus, he did have all the bitches.
12 disciples versus 9 wives.
He's got more followers than the actual Jesus did.
On the beach where he just pours in all his extended cast of the show. God.
I forgot the Bible had that beach chapter.
Can we
was an entire
Okay,
test.
so
we
we're
finally
going to
wrap this
review
up?
the whole thing.
Yeah, Tony, you start. Do you
My
agree
start?
with your 4 out of 10
I
rating?
think 4 out of 10 is fair enough because although watching it I'm like, first of all, I think 1.5 times speed is a bit, it's too kind on this show. It is very boringly paced watching it consecutively, and I mean the way I watched it was once a week, and even then I was like, this kind of drags a bit, but well, I might as well keep going.
And you saw the beach episode and you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to keep going now.
No, it was finding out why she wasn't wearing the underwear was the hook. Yeah, it is pretty. Yeah, no, it's comparing it to like other sort of shows in this genre of wish fulfillment. Guy goes to another universe, gets party filled with cute fucking people. I think this one, like, although being bad and being poorly paced and being a bit too fan servicey, even though that's obviously what the people are there for. So fair enough. This one does do a decent job of calling out the bullshit. Is its one strong point. Like, I feel like it's like right at the end, it's like, come on, just marry all 4 of us. It drives that home as like the answer to the problem, which I think is great. Just at the end where he's like, yeah, polygamy, I'm gonna solve the day. It's great. I think as just easy to consume wish fulfillment, this is just it's fine. It's slightly below fine, which is fine. It's fine. It's like, yeah, the beach episode, it like uses breasts for eyes to show emotion. Like, it's bad, but at the same time, like, it's fine. I'm just gonna move on. Because at this point I'm invested in the world and the characters. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know.
So you're going to stick with your 4?
Yeah, I'll stick with 4. I think 4 is fine.
I think, despite being the best thing that we've seen, I'd say it's probably, I don't know, Asterix 4 and this are kind of like on par. Maybe Asterix was a bit more generic.
Feels a bit more boring. This is like, we're gonna turn the wish fulfillment up to like, he will never face a problem.
It's still got it's still got the annoying kind of like, oh yeah, all the female characters are in love with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it
kind of goes nowhere. It has no resolution, no conflict. That being said,
he proposes to all 4 of them at least.
Some of it
is a bit sequel bait.
Some of it's quite funny. Like, a couple of the action scenes are quite good early on, and the animation's all right.
Yeah, it's not.
It made me laugh genuinely a couple of times. It made me laugh unintentionally a lot of times.
Yeah, I think the dub is really good. Like, honestly, I don't know, watching the dub at 1.5 times speed, like, actually really helped.
Oh yeah, 1.5 times speed maybe helped. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. But I'm also going to knock a point off every slime.
For every slime killed.
I'd say, I enjoyed the show's purity. And it's a bad word. 3 out of 10.
I'll agree with that.
If anyone gave a review, it was like, oh, it's so pure, pure-blooded. You'd just be like, they're a racist.
No, that's what this fucking, I don't know. It's like the Slytherins in Harry Potter.
Yeah, they're fucking meant to be Nazi. Fuck's sake, Tony.
It's like Obi-Wan, okay? He's best friends with Anakin. It was a throwaway joke. I don't know why it's gone on for this long. Moving on.
You're the one who keeps bringing that up.
You said...
I said it in the podcast, which may or may not be going up after this. I think it's already been up. But yeah, you're the one that keeps bringing that up.
I haven't brought it up again.
You brought it up like yesterday and again now.
Ethan, we're moving on.
So when I watch something like this, it feels to me like the creators of this show have never seen anything decent in their life. Someone needs to explain to someone the concept of consequences and flaws and everything that makes anything, have the possibility of being invested in it or interested in it at all. Like, the fact that I watched the first season of True Detective like 2 years ago, but I can definitively remember pretty much everything that happens in each episode, and I started watching this 2 days ago, and I can't remember the first half of the season, just goes to show. It's beyond terrible
And I was all right for
6 out of 10.
the beginning. I was all right for the beginning, and then it just got worse. I think my least favorite thing about it is just the lack of diversity between characters. I mean, I get completely
Well, no,
coming from.
come on, Ethan. You've got the ones with the big breasts. You've got the one with the smaller breasts.
And all
you've
of
got
them are
the one-
underage.
Yeah, that's the one.
You've got the one that we actually know the age of. You've got the two that are definitely underage.
Yeah, I will agree with Ethan
Yeah.
that when Yumina was introduced, which is the one with the mystic eyes of truth seeing or whatever, I was like, oh, I forgot this was a new character. I genuinely thought one of the characters that had already been introduced was Yumina, because there are two princesses in his extended PC box. It's like boxed.
That both have blonde hair, long blonde hair.
He just rotates out his party members depending on what gym he's about to fight.
Yeah, it's just rubbish. I mean, like when you say, oh, what's a good example? Like, all right, so One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right?
Stop comparing it to good things.
Yes, I know, but I just want to use a good example.
You have to compare bad to worse.
Yeah, in many
to
ways,
make
this
sense
is
of
the
the
anime
5 out.
version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Let me say what I wanted to say.
Alright.
It's got a really big supporting cast, okay?
Mm.
But every character is monumentally different to the other one. And you can see one and go, oh, well, that one is clearly different to this person. And I don't mean personality or character-wise. I mean, they actually look different as well. So you can distinguish between characters. And actually, on another note, in a universe where this exists along with 12 Angry Men is just like bewildering. Like, I just can't even understand or comprehend that. So I think I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10.
Ooh.
It's
That's lower than Aramanga Sensei.
I think it's worse.
Really?
Animediate Sensei had a few funny moments. Actually, that's not true. This did have funny
It had the
moments.
gun.
But
Both shows had a gun.
yeah, Animediate Sensei had ridiculous parts where you were just like, oh, laugh out loud. Good. It also had the part where you almost exploded with laughter.
Everything Sensei is still the worst thing I've seen.
Yeah.
It's beyond terrible.
I don't know. I think yeah,
I
it's
can't believe it
it's-
started with the bad anime.
I don't know. I want to improve over time. I don't want to decay.
So it's a 2 out of 10. There's little good about it in my mind. Most of it is completely forgettable. There's the odd funny moment, and most of it came from when we were putting it on 0.5 speed. Yeah, it's just.
I mean,
it's rubbish.
my biggest critique of it is when you look at The Godfather.
I'm just using those as examples to back up my point.
I think you.
Yeah, they're good points as
But
well.
also, like, won't you always hate your life if you're just comparing everything to the best possible
But
incarnation
that's what I
of
want to
that
see.
thing?
I just want to see best of
Yeah,
everything.
they're
I
only
don't
like
want you
one
watching
of the
stuff
best
like this.
thing. Like,
I mean, there are a lot of like great.
it's like 12 of the best thing.
I mean,
okay?
in terms of anime, this is probably like their equivalent of like The Godfather Part 3. You know, like it's kind of like it's a solid 7. You know, it's based on some.
Oh man.
Well, I can't compare it to anything worse because there isn't really anything worse. I've got to compare it with anything
Fair
that's better than
enough.
that. So I might as
Fair
well
enough.
compare it to the best things on the planet.
Ethan's just never seen anything bad before. That Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Even
Broadening
watching it
your
at
horizons.
1.5 speed just felt so slow
Yeah.
and unmanageable to watch. I just anyway, I'll stop now because I've pretty much unleashed all of my hell on this. I really didn't like it.
Jono.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to score because there were bits that were really good. I'm not sure if it was just being at 1.5 speed. The terrible dialogue works much better
I
when it's
think-
snappy.
The line, sorry, it's like shame these bullets were rubber, is like really well delivered at 1.5 times speed, and a lot of things seem like so
Some
like,
freaking
nonchalant.
powers.
yeah, but yeah. It's
But-
funnier at 1.5.
Yeah, but the problem is that's not the show, and also
I mean,
this is adding a whole new level to the what is the intention level of the thing. It's like, well, actually, it's a great show if you watch it at 1.35 times speed.
review what you watch, because I don't think it's that impossible to be like, yeah, watch it at 1.5 times speed. It will genuinely be funny, because I think it's not like it's an impossible thing to say, like, watch it in like a really hard context of like, oh, if you watch this different film and have that in mind as you watch this. Like, no, it's just simply 1.5 times speed isn't that hard to achieve in saying.
But yes, it's also then you've got moments that are actually good and funny, which feels wrong to be saying that. And then you just have the fact that, well, every other moment that is terrible, and the gratuitous moments that if you subtract one for every time it happens, you've got a negative score. So I think I'm going to go for 3. Agree with Harry. Though it really is just kind of picking a number, because there are moments that I'd go, 7, maybe even pushing to 8, and there are moments that I'm just like, I actually don't want to watch any more of this.
Yeah, it's like I said before. For me, when it gets less than 6, I just don't know what to rank it because it's just all a mess, really. Very true.
5, 4, 3, 2, and Aramanga Sensei.
It's interesting looking at the overall scores. Aramanga Sensei got 7, so did Hanoka, and the Asterix War and In Another World with My Smartphone have got 12. So in total, they only either get 7 or 12
to change it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd change anything about Animediate.
I'm going to change a couple of my scores. Well, I'm going to change one. I'm going to make it so that Aramanga Sensei is the worst one.
I mean, wait until you see Devilman Crybaby.
No, wait until you see Ninja Slayer, because that's probably a 1 out of 10 along with Anoka.
Yeah,
Well, where did this come from? Before today, you I know you didn't like Aramanga Sensei, but today you came here with a mission.
He always
It's the 1 out of 10.
Oh,
he is. He started with 2 and went down.
Aramanga Sensei was always the worst. It's just like I'm just looking back on Hanoka more fondly.
I feel like
it didn't waste my fucking time.
yeah, I think we're building like a strong like foundation over the course of Animediate, which is what I like. Like you're seeing the worst possible incarnations of different ideas, so that when you get to like the average incarnations or even the good carnations of those ideas, you're like,
we're tired of it.
Yeah, fair enough. It does form a sort of parabola where past 5 out of 10 I've taken similar concepts but do them with cool scenes in, so they're good.
But do they have the Anakin and Obi-Wan relationship?
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point. I think after we finish with this entire podcast, I'll be able to watch really bad things, and I'll just think of them immensely better because I'll have watched things like these.
I have found that as I give these shows higher and higher ratings, it is a bit harder to defend why I am watching them. Like this one, I was like, why did I watch all of this? It's quite bland and boring, but it does. I won't say it goes as far as subverting tropes, but it does like.
It just is the tropes.
Yeah, it is the tropes, but it does like double down on being the wish fulfillment in a way that it doesn't like try and like drag it out too much.
Can we fulfill my wish of ending this podcast?
Yeah, well, we'll see you next.
Search recording device. Spell off.